Hey, hey, hey. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. So, I wanted to hop on really quickly for day 3 of our decision week topic. We are talking about today, we're just doing a cooking chat. I'm live at if you see me looking in both places. I'm live over here on IG as well as inside of the Intentional Squad. So I wanted to talk to y'all before the day before Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving Eve, about family and traditions. Now, this initially started off as a blog post years ago, and it originally had to do with Easter. And why I chose, my husband and I decided to skip Easter, right? Like the traditional Easter shenanigans, right? Again, this was a few years ago. We instead of doing Easter dinner with the family, we took the kids to a water park, surprised them, and really kept it moving, to be honest with you, and did our own thing. And so I really wanted to talk today about traditions and the toxicity of traditions. Again, this is decision week, not just Black Friday week, right? Not just the week of Thanksgiving, but it's decision week. And so in order to get to, we talked about last night, making the decision to finally make a decision. So in order to get to where God wants you to be, you got to start making intentional decisions. And that includes who you decide to surround yourself with, who you decide to have around your children, the traditions that you decide to partake in, and then the ones that you decide to sit out of, right? Just make the decision about it. So I printed off some notes. I'm going to do my best to try to go off of them while I'm sitting here cooking. Drop in the chat, what are you making today while I get my life together over here? What y'all got going on today? Are you hosting? Are you going to family's houses or what have you? But yeah, so I made a decision years ago to evaluate the traditions that I was deciding to partake in, right? And a lot of that had to do with going over family members' houses. People that honestly I didn't even see during the year, but it was like expected of us to go over there for particular holidays. And once I became a mom, honestly, I had my son at 16, so it was a lot of stuff that I still wasn't fully in control of. But when I got married, I think we got married about, when I was 24, I think. 24, 25. So when we got married, I started really looking at what did I want my family traditions to be, what did I want my children to partake in, what did I want me and my husband to do, and a lot of those family traditions that I used to partake in by myself, I stopped. So I stopped going over certain family members' houses. I looked at what was going on when I went over their houses, right? Like, was it a whole bunch of gossip? Was it something that I really wanted my kids to be a part of? And this is not to say that everybody's house that I don't go over had toxicity within it, right? It could have just been I just didn't want to go. And I'm really, now I'm like walking fully in my no, and fully in my yeses. So when I say no to something, no is no. You can't try to convince me to do it. If I don't want to, I'm not going to, right? So I really want you to evaluate, if you haven't already, what and where, like, who are you surrounding yourself with when it comes to the holidays? Where are you going? What are they talking about? Is it things that's going to edify you and your soul? Is it things that's going to edify your children's lives, your life, right? Are there traditions that you want to start uprooting within your own family, right? And if it is, let go, right? It's okay to not show up at a family member's house, even if it's expected of you. Like, who cares? If that's not what you need spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, like if you don't need that, don't do it. Stop trying to appease people. Again, it's decision week. Make the decision. Some of the family members that you have, and I know because I am you, right? I'm a visionary. I'm a trailblazer. I'm purpose driven. I am the one that I know my bloodline has been waiting on. I am the person who is supposed to shift the narrative of my legacy and my family, right? And I believe that if you are attached to me, that's you too. And so with that, it oftentimes leaves you as the black sheep of your family, right? You may not be as close-knit with them as you may want to be. And it's okay, you know, to each its own. It is what it is. But you have to, again, understand and evaluate, if that's how you feel, why are you still showing up over there, right? And I wrote down on the blog 3 reasons why. I'm going to get into that in a second. 3 reasons why people still show up and participate in family traditions, even when they are not healthy family traditions, right? And so the first one is because they're not aware. Now, identification precedes transformation. And anytime you are wanting to fix an area of your life, you first have to become aware of it, right? If you're not aware of it, you can't fix it. So if you don't even know that you feel uneasy because you're showing up at somebody's house and it's kind of like you feel it in your stomach and you're like, I feel some type of way, but I don't even know what it is. I'm just here just to be here, right? Or a certain family member come around and you're like, I don't know what this is. I don't know why I don't feel right, but whatever. I'm just going to be here. I'm going to smile. I'm going to eat and I'm going to take my plate to go, right? Instead of showing up and doing that, do the work within yourself to figure out, how do I feel when I go over these people's house? Like, am I cool? Because you better believe, as a parent, if you don't feel right going over somebody's house, your kids will pick up on that same energy. So become aware of that, right? The second one is because people stay in those toxic family traditions because they want a sense of belonging, right? And this is why I talked about community and why community is so important and why I talk about it so much. And I created the Intentional Squad, right? For situations just like this. We all as human beings want to have a sense of belonging, but don't allow that sense of belonging to damage you, right? To damage your children, to leave you with bags that they're not even yours, right? To leave your kids trapped in certain baggage that doesn't even belong to them or you, right? Just because you want to belong somewhere, like find a community. Community isn't always family, right? Blood makes you family. You can choose to not be around toxicity. You can choose to not be around negativity. You can choose to do better for you and ultimately for your kids. Just by making that decision, right? So make the decision to evaluate, release when need be, and get into another community if your family is just not it, right? If they're keeping up with the traditions, the toxic traditions that you just don't want to be a part of, right? Like Thanksgiving becomes like I see so many memes about Thanksgiving clapbacks, right? Like people be ready to go in on their family, like, okay, as soon as they say, like it's like double dutch. Anytime I see it, I'll be looking like this. I'll be like, and I used to be there. It was certain things that would go down with my family, and I would be ready. I would come equipped with some clapbacks. Like, it really would be like double dutch. I'm like, okay, when they gonna say it? When they gonna say it? Like, I'm ready, right? And it shouldn't even be like that. Like, why do you have to be on defense when you're going over family house, right? Or not even just your family. When you're in community with people, why do you have to be on defense? You shouldn't be, right? So check that. Is your sense of belonging so deep that you're willing to sacrifice you? That you're willing to sacrifice your kids just to belong? So again, there's always space for you over in the intentional squad if you need a community. And then the third one, so number one was that they're unaware, right? Two was that they just want a sense of belonging. And if you can identify with any of this, go ahead and put the number in the chat that corresponds with how you feel, right? Number one, have you just been unaware that your family or the traditions that your family has are toxic? Like, are you just now coming into awareness, which is cool? Are you just now coming into an awareness and unlearning and relearning some things, and you like, you know what? That's something I don't want to pass on to my kids. That ain't cool. Or number two, is it because you just want a sense of belonging, right? That you're just like, I don't have no other support system. My family is all I got. And I really just, because I want that sense of belonging, I'm willing to tolerate and accept anything and settle, to be honest with you. Just because they're your family does not mean that you need to settle with them, right? At all. Then number three, hang on, y'all. Then number three is they're taught that family is family. And that kind of goes back into what I was just talking about, right? Like, you don't have to settle with your family just because they're your family. You can choose to do something different for you and your kids, right? Choose to create new traditions. Again, like I said, our tradition started with Easter. Like, we broke that years ago and said we are not going to sit around. Baby girl, turn that down, please. We're not going to sit around and just allow certain traditions to take place and just show up over somebody's house to eat just because they're family, right? Just because we were invited to their house, just because they may be your aunt, your uncle, your grandma, whoever, right? You don't have to. So again, just because family is family does not mean that you have to sit amongst family and gossip when that's not what you want to be doing. Drink when that's not what you want to be doing. Smoke when that's just not what you want to do, right? You can choose. Every single day you can make the decision to do something different and to set a different tone for your kids, for your life, for the generations coming after you, really for your next level, to be honest, because as we talked about yesterday, you got to get from a point from surviving to thriving. And in the middle of that is finding your stride. And finding your stride could be releasing what no longer serves you. And honestly, it's a part of finding your stride. You got to release what no longer serves you. So if your family is the type of family, you're sitting over here like, Marisha, like, I love my family traditions. Like, we are a dope family. Keep that. That is amazing. That is great. But if you are in a family where dysfunction has become the norm, where gossip is the norm, where you know that the people who you are about to surround yourself with give you an uneasy feeling, or they make you feel a certain type of way, or you got to remember that double dutch, you got to be ready to clap back, release it. Stop allowing people to hold you hostage to them, right? I told my friend the other day, like, honestly, grace has an expiration date. You can give yourself and other people so much grace, but it has an expiration date. What you're not going to do is continue to treat somebody or have somebody continue to treat you a certain type of way, and you like, oh, I'm just extending them grace, or treating yourself a certain type of way, right? Remember, our word for this month was refuse. Refuse to settle. Refuse to tolerate. Refuse to allow people to treat you a certain type of way just for them to treat you a certain type of way, right? Just for them just for you to feel that sense of belonging, just because they're family. Let that go. Unlearn what no longer serves you. Relearn what does. And keep it moving. Alright, y'all. I got my greens already together. Washed. Ready to go on this pot. So, I'm going to blanch this, get this ready. Y'all have an amazing Thanksgiving. If I don't talk to you anymore today, have an amazing Thanksgiving. Have an amazing rest of your week. Have an amazing weekend, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drop the link here if you want to get a sneak peek of what I have going on over here at the Intentional Squad. Tomorrow, early access, all squad members. If you are in our Intentional Squad over here, then the link is right here in our community, so you can go ahead and see that in the home section. Over here on Instagram, the link is in my bio, so you can check that out and get your sneak peek. And if you want to go ahead and participate in what I got going on, which is our 4-day Move Accelerator, which is going to be next month, December 5th through the 8th. I have some of those VIP tickets, general tickets on I'll have that on sale starting tomorrow for early access. But that's a part of our Intentional Black Friday event. We're kicking it off with this decision week, and then we're having our 4-day accelerator that is going to propel you from overwhelm to overflow. So make sure that you get on the reminder list for that. You don't want to miss those tickets. I have, like, y'all, the tickets are not, the price is not going to be the price on Tuesday of next week, okay? Really on Monday of next week. Y'all got to go see how I got it set up, because to be honest, your best bet is tomorrow when I actually release everything. You'll have the opportunity, if you are in our squad or on the reminder list, you'll have an opportunity to get access to everything. And then Friday, there's only certain things that's going to be for sale. Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday will be our last day. But again, click the link in my bio and check it out, because if there's something specific that you want to be a part of, make sure you get on the reminder list, because there are certain things such as the 4-day accelerator and our vision board party, our vision party plan, that I'm telling y'all, it's not your regular vision board party, okay? This is an intentional deep dive using my intentional strategy to plan out your entire year and to accomplish all of your goals, right? I typically only do this with my one-on-one clients, but I am opening it up this year to everybody, because it is so important for us to have a strategic plan when it comes to how we move into our next level, right? I believe if you are attached to me, then you know that you are being called right now into something greater. There's a shift, I believe, that's happening. We are in the midst of it, and women specifically need to be in position. And if you're not in position, you are going to miss out on this next shift. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's coming. Y'all know how I stay in tune with God, right? But there's a shift coming, and you need to be in position and be ready so that you are at the level that God needs you to be at, so that you can hold the weight of what God has for you. All right, y'all. I will talk to you later. Have a great Thanksgiving. Love you to life.